So even though today it's 50 degrees, but we still can't plant anything yet, I thought I'd show you inside our greenhouse here. It's a 10 by 12 greenhouse, and I'll show you some of the things that we did to the greenhouse to support it better and what we're actually doing inside now. So since I'm in zone 7, it does get pretty cold here. Last week we had temperatures that were about 4 degrees, and have a little heater over here which kept the greenhouse to about 47 degrees, and it worked pretty well. As you can see, there's bubble wrap all around the greenhouse, and I did this because I heard that the bubble wrap will act as an insulation. It does help somewhat, and again, it was 4 degrees outside and still maintained 47 degrees inside with this little heater over here. So let me show you a couple of things that we did. One of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to help support the actual greenhouse. I made a frame out of wood. As you can see, it goes all around the greenhouse, and we'll go down, of course, to the ground. We have these posts going into the ground, and on this side you could see that 2 sets of shells were built. Now they have things on them, but when we start planting, you'll start to see trays like this one over here that has leeks and onions on it. And over here we have some lettuce, romaine lettuce, that's been growing for a couple of weeks. So this romaine lettuce actually is a variety that does well in the cold. So we've been growing that internally here. And again, we have over here beets. So these beets have been going since the end of the summer, and we've harvested a few times, harvested the leaves and the beets themselves. We also have a bar going up at the top over here, and that's a support bar. So if there was ever a heavy snow, it wouldn't take down the entire greenhouse. One of the things that we could also do is we will be hanging certain things from there, so we have a place to hang. If we have baskets that we want to start, we'll be doing that from there as well. Of course, we added electricity, so we ran electricity from the house into the greenhouse. We have outlets over here, and you can see a power strip right there. And also we have an outlet on the other side, and the power strip is over there as well. We do have lights, which are not heavy lights, heavy duty lights, but we could change that to make it a little brighter. It gives just enough light, so at night when we want to come in here, or if it's cloudy outside, we can use the lights and see what's going on. Up here you'll see it's covered up now, but we do have an exhaust fan. So the exhaust fan over here, we put in ourselves, and it is temperature controlled. So behind this piece of cardboard over there, there is a temperature sensor, which will put the exhaust fan on when it gets to about 85 degrees in here. One of the things we also did was we added a rain barrel in here with a watering system. So if you see this thing right over here, this is our drip irrigation system with a timer on it. We have a little timer on there. And the reason that the barrel is painted half black is because in the winter, when the sun hits it, it will actually heat up the barrel a little bit. So we keep the water at a nice, a nice temperature so it doesn't freeze. Then we added a bed. Okay, so these things in here have been growing for quite a few months. We have at the end of the bed over here, we have some garlic. We have more lettuce, more garlic. We have some spinach growing over here, and then we have bunching tomatoes, which have been growing over here for quite a while. Again, they probably need a little bit warmer temperature, but we decided to try and see what's going on. One of the interesting things to note is that if you look at all of the lettuces over here, what we did was we planted a lot of lettuce seeds. We put them in and we let them germinate, and a lot of them germinated. So we have like 4 or 5 plants, and if you see those plants, they're really not doing as well as the ones that are singles. So what we did was we took a lot of the ones that had germinated together, and we actually split them out, and that's what you see over here. All of these came from 5 or 6 pots, and we just separated them all out. We have more over here as well. We also put down a floor. So this is a paver floor, so it was dug out, and we put down the whole floor here. The floor does go under the bed, so the bed is not connected to the ground, And we did that for a few reasons, and one of them was there are gophers around here, and we didn't want the gophers coming up into the bed. So this is the entire greenhouse has a floor, and this floor we sweep, and also when it gets wet we really don't care because it will just dry up. In the winter we want to make sure we can keep as much cold out as possible, so there are actual plastic sheets that are at the door here. We're hopefully going to be changing the doors this year. The doors are sliding doors, and the company that made this greenhouse did not make the sliding doors too well, so we're going to try to re-engineer the doors and put on different doors. Again, we have two shelves here that can hold quite a bit of weight. Currently we have a lot of our product over here, but as the planting season, in a couple of weeks, as we start seeding things, we can see them in here. We will start using all of these different shelves. And the greenhouse today, it says over here is 98, but it's really about 85, 86. And again, this today is February 6th. So it's still a little bit chilly outside. It's about 45, 50 degrees outside. But inside here it's very nice. The sun is now shining more than it has. The sun is going higher in the sky. And if you look at the way God has made this, in the winter the sun is lower, which means we don't get as much sunlight in here, which means there's, number one, not as much light, and secondly, it doesn't get as hot in here. So as the year will progress, it'll get hotter in here because there'll be more hours of sunlight. So let me just take you over here quickly and show you what we have. We have quite a bit of things that we do use in the greenhouse and outside. So this is just a container that we'll probably use to start planting things. And we have different types of things here. If you'll notice, we have all of these strings, and you'll see them outside as well. This is how we start growing things vertically. So when we have crops, we want to grow them up if possible. The more we grow up, the more space we have, and the more fruit we can get from them, like tomatoes and cucumbers and those types of things. By the way, we do call vegetables fruits, okay? So if you look at any kind of videos on these things, you'll see that we're talking about fruiting. The vegetable plant is fruiting. So when we talk about that, we'll be say fruiting, okay? Again, over here, everything that we have here is organic. So this year, we went organic with everything. Last year we started to go organic, which means we don't use things with chemicals in them. Everything is natural and organic, and we're trying to grow things the way God intended us to grow them and the way they've been growing for hundreds of years. So it's a little bit more challenging, and we do have quite a few different fertilizers here. We're going to probably try new fertilizers, and as we go through the planting season, I will explain to you things that work and that we've had luck with. So here you might be able to see that the little seeds are still on some of the plants. You can see that little black thing, and that's the actual seed. So it's amazing that something this small, and we'll put it on the table here so you can see it, something this small, okay, and here's my finger, so we'll show you how small the seed is, okay? Something this small can actually go into a plant, which is an onion, which when it gets bigger, we'll see is going to be much bigger, and of course everybody's had onions. So these are different varieties of onions, and we want to keep it moist. We don't want to keep it too moist because sometimes we will get moss, which we don't want to get in our tray here, so we're gonna have to probably take that out. But that was just a quick overview of the greenhouse, and we'll be using it throughout the season. It will get very hot in here in the summer. It'll be definitely over 100 degrees in here, and we do have windows, and we do open the doors, and we have fans, so we try to keep it a little bit cooler. But there are certain crops that we can grow in here that can take it. Like we have certain things that are in the house right now, such as pineapple plants, and those will definitely go in here. As it gets too hot, we will keep them out. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and that way when we come out with new videos, you'll be the first to know.